Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Om Gyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Shlakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. It would be nice to speak a little bit about Lord Chaitanya and the Panchatattva and where this incredible Sankirtan movement comes from. And we can borrow something from the writings of Kaviraj Goswami and develop some sort of meditation. So we're going to be going out on Sacred Street Party. It's like a street festival. And before every festival, we don't just turn up empty-handed. We take some time to develop a meditation. We take some time to really understand the depths of the festival, so that when we go out there, we can distribute as many jewels as possible and collect as many as possible too. And I thought it would be nice just for us to read together from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 7, which is entitled Lord Chaitanya in 5 Features. And we can just see what happens. I have no idea what's going to come up, no idea how this afternoon is going to progress, but in the Sangha of serious and dedicated Sankirtan devotees, let's see what we can chant. So we'll start reading from text number 20 to 21. So Adi Leela 7, 20 to 21. We'll give the Bengali a go, and we'll do read the translation, read the purport, and carry on going, and then to see if anything comes up, and let the CC dictate the morning or the afternoon. Say Panchatattva Mili Prithvi Asiya. Oh no, we'll just in the interest of time, we won't do a call and response. I'll just read, and then at certain points I'll share something and maybe open it up to you guys, and like that. But there will be some time, isn't it, for the latter part?
Yes, sure.
We've got lots of opportunities for questions. It's Adi Leela, chapter 7. We're going to start reading from text 20 to 21. We go. Say Panchatattva Mili Prithvi Asiya. We're just going to I'll just read in the interest of time, and then we'll just take some pauses and we can reflect and speak. It's just nice to recite the Bengali. These are the words of Kaviraj Goswami, and there's certain sweetness and purification that comes from reading like this. So let's try again, third time lucky. Say Panchatattva Mili Prithvi Asiya Purva Prema Bhandarera Mudra Ughadiya Panch Mili Lute Prema Kare Asvadan Yata Yata Piye Trishna Bhare Anukshan. Translation. The characteristics of Krishna are understood to be a storehouse of transcendental love. Although that storehouse of love certainly came with Krishna when he was present, it was sealed. But when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with his associates of the Panchatattva, They broke the seal and plundered the storehouse to taste transcendental love of Krishna. The more they tasted it, the more their thirst for it grew. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Mahavadanyaya Avatar because although he is Sri Krishna himself, he is even more favorably disposed to the poor fallen souls than Lord Sri Krishna. When Lord Sri Krishna himself was personally present, he demanded that everyone surrender unto him and promised that he would then give one all protection. But when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this earth with his associates, he simply distributed transcendental love of God without discrimination. Sri Rupa Goswami therefore could understand that Lord Chaitanya was none other than Sri Krishna himself, for no one but the Supreme Personality of Godhead can distribute confidential love of the Supreme Person. Puna puna piyaya haya mahamata nache kande hase gaya yache madamata. Sri Panchatattva themselves danced again and again, and thus made it easier to drink nectarian love of Godhead. They danced, cried, laughed, and chanted like madmen, and in this way they distributed love of Godhead. Purport. People generally cannot understand the actual meaning of chanting and dancing. Describing the Goswamis, Sri Srinivas Acharya stated, Krishna Kirtana Gana Naratana Paro. Not only did Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates demonstrate this chanting and dancing, but the 6 Goswamis also followed in the next generation. The present Krishna consciousness movement follows the same principle, and therefore, simply by chanting and dancing, we have received good responses all over the world. It is to be understood, however, that this chanting and dancing do not belong to this material world. They are actually transcendental activities. For the more one engages in chanting and dancing, the more he can taste the nectar of transcendental love of Godhead. Patra patra vichara nahi sthana sthana, ye yaha payataha kare prema dana. In distributing love of Godhead, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates could not consider who was a fit candidate and who was not, nor where such distribution should or should not take place. They made no conditions. Wherever they got the opportunity, the members of the Panchatattva distributed love of Godhead. Purport. There are some rascals who dare to speak against the mission of Lord Chaitanya by criticizing the Krishna consciousness movement for accepting Europeans and Americans as Brahmanas and offering them sannyas. But here is an authoritative statement that in distributing love of Godhead, one should not consider whether the recipients are Europeans, Americans, Hindus, Muslims, etc. The Krishna consciousness movement should be spread wherever possible, and one should accept those who thus become Vaishnavas as being greater than Brahmanas, Hindus, or Indians. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu desired that his name be spread in each and every town and village on the surface of the globe. Therefore, when the cult of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is spread all over the world, should those who embrace it not be accepted as Vaishnavas, Brahmanas, and Sannyasis? These foolish arguments are sometimes raised by envious rascals, but Krishna-conscious devotees do not care about them. We strictly follow the principles set down by the Panchatattva. Lutiya khaya diya bhandara ujare, ascharya bhandara prema shata guna vare. Although the members of the Panchatattva plundered the storehouse of love of Godhead and ate and distributed its contents, there was no scarcity. For this wonderful storehouse is so complete that as the love is distributed, the supply increases. hundreds of times. Purport. A pseudo-incarnation of Krishna once told his disciple that he had emptied himself by giving him all knowledge and was thus spiritually bankrupt. Such bluffers speak in this way to cheat the public, but actual spiritual consciousness is so perfect that the more it is distributed, the more it increases. Bankruptcy is a term that applies in the material world, but the storehouse of love of Godhead in the spiritual world can never be depleted. Krishna is providing for millions and trillions of living entities by supplying all their necessities, and even if all the innumerable living entities wanted to become Krishna conscious, there would be no scarcity of love of Godhead, nor would there be insufficiency in providing for their maintenance. Our Krishna consciousness movement was started single-handedly, and no one provided for our livelihood. But at present, we are spending hundreds and thousands of dollars all over the world, and the movement is increasing more and more. Thus, there is no question of scarcity. Although jealous persons may be envious, if we stick to our principles and follow in the footsteps of Panchatattva, this movement will go on unchecked by imitation swamis, sannyasis, religionists, philosophers, or scientists, for it is transcendental to all material considerations. Therefore, those who propagate the Krishna consciousness movement should not be afraid of such rascals and fools. So maybe we'll stop here and see what we can churn. I think it was really nice how Prabhupada, in a couple of those purports, just reminded us, just stick to the principles. This is the plan of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All we have to do is execute it, and we'll find great success. Shivuvanath Prabhu, he said, don't think you have a better plan than Lord Chaitanya. All we have to do is follow. We may have so many ideas because we may have a bad experience on the streets. Oh, this person didn't take a book, or this person, they were envious, so they rejected me in this way. And there may be so many excuses as to why we don't want to go out on the streets and fulfill this order and make this prediction of Mahaprabhu manifest. But we should understand that whether we go out or not, whether we feel inspired or not, the prediction of Mahaprabhu is going to come to pass. We just have to decide whether we want to play a part in that or not, whether we want to relish the modern day Sankirtan pastimes or not. But we can save ourselves lots of anxiety, and we can forget the trick of the mind and just leave that aside by simply following. Thinking about, growing up, maybe my mum might have wanted me to do something, I might have had another idea, but if I just follow, life is just peaceful. It's just plain sailing, like mums can agree with that, right? If the kids just follow, it's just straightforward, life is plain sailing for them, they don't have to worry. But if the kids argue and think, no, I want to do it this way, I want to do it that way, they're gonna feel that they're gonna get bitten. And if we want to find success, we just follow in the footsteps of those that know better. And in this case, who knows better? Srila Prabhupada, because he's simply executing this order of his spiritual master. And it is on the strength of that faith that we go out there today. In the 1930s, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj sent his disciples to England to preach, but they came back with very little success. And then 35 or so years later, Prabhupada sent those 6 couples to England to preach. And he writes in a couple of letters that they were not scholars by any means. They were not very well versed in Vedanta. They were very, very new to Krishna consciousness, and they were Krishna conscious babies in a sense. What was their qualification? They simply had faith in the order of their spiritual master. He went to London, and everything that we see here today, this whole building has come. All of us sitting here today have come from them following that instruction and having that faith in Srila Prabhupada, despite externally perhaps being unqualified. It is the strength of the faith in spiritual master that these three couples came here, and from then, almost miraculously, magically, Krishna consciousness spread. The Panchatattva, they're not considering who is qualified and who is unqualified. They're completely, naturally off the mental platform. And that's the approach with which we should consider this lovely service. That we need to stop making excuses and think we know better. We go out there and we just try. Doesn't matter who we think is fit or unfit. We just try, and everything else will come from that. On the way here, we're listening to a class by Kamal Krishna Maharaj, and he was describing how one young boy moved into a new house. And in that house, there was nothing there, no furniture, no paraphernalia for his living. But in the loft, he found a box, and in that box were some books. There were, of course, Srila Prabhupada's books. He read one, and he ended up joining the temple. There are countless pastimes like this that have been happening since Prabhupada came to the West. We just have to have faith that sooner or later, the book that we distribute will blow up and strike someone. He was describing how each book has written inside it in invisible ink someone's name. But of course we can't read invisible ink. Anyone here can read invisible ink? Me neither. So what do we have to do? We have to ask everybody, following in the footsteps of the Panchatattva, particularly Lord Nityananda, we have to ask everybody, approach everybody without discrimination. And maybe that book might be for them. If they take it, sooner or later, either in their life or in the life of someone else, that book will attract them to Krishna once read. So what we're doing here is a very authorized process. It's not something new. This is the path chalked out for us by the Acharyas, by the Mahajans, and it's all connected to the kindness and the generosity of the Panchatattva. Lord Chaitanya is known as the Mahavadanyaya Avatar by Rupa Goswami because he is extremely merciful, not considering where to distribute, not considering who to distribute to. This everybody, even the person who's phone just now, everyone is a candidate for this mercy. We just have to have faith in that instruction. Everything is set. And the CC is like describing that environment for us. That yes, everything is set. The whole CC is saying just go out and Sankirtan. Go out and Sankirtan. That's the whole purpose for which Lord Chaitanya came. And then in a couple of chapters, Lord Chaitanya is asking everyone, can you help me? I can't do it alone. I'm only one gardener. I need the help of so many others. How many fruits can I alone distribute? And when we help Lord Chaitanya, and when we join his team, when Crawley joins Lord Chaitanya's team, the amount of mercy that's going to flood this place is inconceivable. Inconceivable. Let's read a little bit more actually, because there's something crazy coming up. You guys ready?
Rivo.
What we'll do is we'll skip the Bengali now. Check this out. This is what's going to happen in Crawley, and it's already started because of the desire of all of the wonderful Crawleyans. You guys called Crawleyans?
Creepy Crawleys.
Creepy Crawleys. Okay. Because of the desire of I prefer Crawleyans. Creepy Crawleys is a bit hard, huh? Anyway, all the residents of Sri Crawley Dham who are making this endeavor to come out here and attend this program today, organizing Sacred Street Party. I know it's not easy by any means. There's There's so much hard work that goes into organizing these programs, the cookies, the prashad. I know you drove all the way down to Hatfield the other day, loaded your cars with books, came back up. You need to promote the program. It might be raining, it might be cold. There's so much adversity. But to the devotees that are taking this mission of Lord Chaitanya seriously and joining Lord Chaitanya's team, this is what you'll get to witness. And I don't think there's anything better. Kaviraj Goswami says, the flood of love of Godhead swelled in all directions, and thus young men, old men, women, and children were all immersed in that inundation. Purport. When the contents of the storehouse of love of Godhead is thus distributed, there is a powerful inundation that covers the entire land. In Sridham, Mayapur, there is sometimes a great flood after the rainy season. This is an indication that from the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya, the inundation of love of Godhead should be spread all over the world. But this will help everyone, including old men, young men, women, and children. The Krishna consciousness movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so powerful that it can inundate the entire world and interest all classes of men in the subject of love of Godhead. These aren't just throwaway comments. Prabhupada is making this point again and again throughout all of his books, that Krishna consciousness is for everybody. Who else is it for? The Krishna consciousness movement will inundate the entire world and drown everyone. Again, everyone. This is crystal clear. We just have to latch onto that with a little bit of faith, that everyone is capable of receiving this, everyone will receive it, and everyone, starting from the people in Crawley, or the devotees in Crawley, everyone can take part in distributing it. The Krishna consciousness movement will inundate the entire world and drown everyone, whether one be a gentleman, a rogue, or even lame, invalid, or blind. That, actually no, it was during the marathon one time that I stopped someone that was deaf and she took books. And I stopped someone that was blind and she took books. And I remember doing that just after reading this translation. That doesn't matter who you are, gentleman, rogue, invalid, lame, or blind. This Krishna consciousness is for you. Why would the kindest, most generous, most merciful personalities ever to exist, the Panchatattva, leave people out of this amazing mercy? This is for everybody. And we have to understand that when we go out there in Crawley today, every single person we see, no matter what our mind is telling us, every single person we see is a long-lost son or daughter of Krishna. And they're hankering, really hankering, for Lord Chaitanya's mercy. And the way they're going to get it on the streets is if someone like you intervenes. And if we don't do so, I struggle to think how they're going to find their way here. Lord Chaitanya has established this embassy of Sridham Mayapur. We have lovely Gonyatai deities there. Established this embassy of Sridham Mayapur so that Lord Chaitanya's plan for Crawley can come to pass. All we have to do is accept that plan, not try and fight it because it might be uncomfortable on the surface, but just go out there on the streets, come what may, and then we'll get to see what Kaviraj Goswami is speaking about here in the CC. This is not some fairy tale. Let's not be like the doubting God brothers of Prabhupada who thought Prithivite Achayata Nagaradigram Sarvatra Prachara Hoibe Moranam, that in every town and village in the world Lord Chaitanya's name will be spread. They thought that was just something that was said, not something to be taken seriously. But successful are those that take every syllable of the spiritual master's words, every syllable of the Shastra seriously. And their whole lives become magical. Because it is only for them who with a leap of faith go out on the streets, armed with the knowledge of the scripture, only for them that the scripture will really come to life. How much more can we force, how how much more can Lord Chaitanya really do for us? You know, in the Madhya Leela, speaking the conversation between Lord Chaitanya and Sanatana Goswami, Lord Chaitanya is describing how the scriptures and the sadhu and the guru are sent by Krishna to rescue all of us. And Krishna, although he's Atmaram, he is also crying, you know. And Haridas Thakur is consoling this Krishna, this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's saying, what is he saying? Haridas kahe Prabhu chintana kariya yavanera samsara dekhi dukhana bhaviha. My dear Lord, do not be in anxiety. Do not be unhappy to see the condition of the Yavanas, those against Vedic culture in this age of Kali. Haridas Thakur is seeing that the Lord is in anxiety. So Krishna, although he is fully satisfied, there is a part of him that is super concerned. And so that most compassionate nature shines forth in Mahaprabhu. And he comes and he's desperately thinking, how can I rescue all these fallen conditioned souls? And so he sends the scripture, he sends Prabhupada, he sends the sadhu, he sends the guru, all of these on a rescue mission to help us. So we've got it all in place. We're very, 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 very fortunate. Let's not allow the mind to make excuses. Let's allow today to be the sacred street party that it's meant to be. Seeing all these wonderful pastimes that Lord Chaitanya has predicted come to life. All we've got to do is go out there, touch the pavement, and everything else will follow. Take some faith and borrow some faith from your fellow devotees. Speak to them, chant that faith. Know that it's all set. And we'll leave you with this final desire of Lord Chaitanya, and then we can maybe ask Gaura to share some reflections, and then see what happens. Lord Chaitanya also says, hey mother, do you remember? What was that verse that we learned together? Do you remember it?
No.
Neither do I. प्रभु कहे अमी विश्वंभर नाम धरी नाम सार्थक है यदि प्रेमे विश्व भरी. The Lord Chaitanya, he says, my name is Vishwambhar. So Lord Chaitanya's Nana, his mum's father, named him Vishwambhar, the maintainer of the universe. What does it mean to maintain the universe? It means to nourish the universe, to nourish the residents of the universe. It means to give them love for Krishna. Prabhu kahe ami Vishwambhara nama dhari. I have been given this name of Vishwambhar, which means to maintain the universe. Nama sarthaka haya yadi preme vishvabhari. When I can fill this universe with love of God, that's when I can say that the meaning of my name has been upheld. And who is it that will make that happen? All of you. The residents of Sri Kroli Dham, going out on the streets today, will fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya to spread love of Krishna everywhere. And it starts from this epicenter, this embassy of Mayapur, which is Kroli. So maybe we can ask Narayan Prabhu to share a few things, and then everyone else, and then we can have some questions. Prabhu, any thoughts?
On this topic?
Can we give them the mic?
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Such a beautiful presentation. I just came from the Holy Name retreat, and I've been desiring to go there for the past 14 years. but somehow every year it comes around end of Kartik, and Kartik goes towards the end of November, so we were always missing it. Some of the things what they were doing was very beautiful actually. I wish I would have tried it before. And we can try that exercise if we have some time. You see, till the time we don't own it, it's just a story. If someone says Krishna is amazing, what does it mean? You know, you can philosophize it, but till the time I don't experience that Krishna, yeah, it's fine. It's a nice storybook. Good, looks good in my shelf. But in order for me to really appreciate Krishna, I have to experience it. When Rupa Goswami says that one of the most powerful pramana in one sense is what you will experience. Same with the Sankirtan, we can tell all the beautiful stories under the sun to the people and give the quotes. And then it's like, yeah, it's all good, but what does it have to do with me? So, one of the things in the retreat, Bhujan Prabhu was insisting or emphasizing that we write down free flow. So if we have time, maybe 5 minutes, for 5 minutes we can try this exercise. That just for a few minutes, close your eyes for a minute and think that how this book has made any difference in your own life. Or if you haven't read the books yet, then what do you think that these books can do in your own life? Think about it and then write down that in a free flow that why you want to go out and share these books with people and how these books will make a difference in their life or change in the world, and how it's gonna, what's in there for you. Because if there's nothing for you, why would you do? I mean, or maybe some selfless people out there. But even for us, we'll feel accomplished in a different way. We'll feel connected with the Lord. We'll feel intervention of Lord in our own life when we go out. So something is there for us or for everyone. So I would recommend, like, if we don't have time now, no problem. You can do this exercise at your own leisure time. That sit down and see what is it. What am I doing? And internalize this service. Otherwise, you see people come, they distribute for a while because it sounds great, and then they wither away. They do whatever they want to do in their life after that, which is not a bad, but how do you maintain it? On the practical side, as I say, we're already late, I guess, so we can do this exercise.
We have some time for questions, I think. So
yeah, and second thing I was saying that so this you can do on your own time before the marathon, so that I personally think that it will help to internalize this service. And every time you come out from the street, you write down your day and those interactions, just in a free flow. Doesn't have to be like so much of the thinking going on. Just free flow. What the day for you was like. Who did you meet? And if some of those people you had a great interaction, even if you didn't take their detail, just write down their name. And next day when you chant, just offer a small prayer for them. And then, Krishna, I met Michelle, I met Mukunda or whatever, ex-Joe or whatever, whoever you met. And please, Krishna, help them to read these books. So what will happen that what you did on the street, it wasn't just an act of sales, because we're not salesmen, I'm sure. Yeah, we don't even look like salesmen. Because we're not salesmen, we are messenger of Mahaprabhu, as Rasika is nicely saying in these verses, we are helping Mahaprabhu in this mission. So we are his soldiers. We're not salesmen. So it's not a sales activity. So some of these things you can, after book distribution, you can do. Practical tips. Tomorrow I'm giving a morning class, so for that I was preparing a few things. Since we're getting influenced by the social media, and I summarize certain things that I'm sure Vaisheshika Prabhu has given so many tips how to do what to do. Is there anyone here who haven't listened to Vaisheshika Prabhu? Okay, everyone has. Okay, good. So I'm sure you have many of those tips already. But the verse I was choosing is 792. So let's not go to the verse. And the word called like Sara or essence. You know the word Sara? Like essence. So S stands for, what do you have to do first thing? Smile.
Smile.
Yes. Not a smile like salespeople do. Like a genuine happy smile, like what Rasika carry with him. You see, it's different, right? It's contagious. Like, does it happen to you in the street sometimes? Hey, why you look so happy? Does it happen, Rasika? Sometimes comes to people here and say, you look very happy.
Yes,
You got a big smile. It's like, yes, smile. First thing, once you will smile, they will, you see, I'm not saying that people are in a misery, but okay, it's crawling, so.
It's a miserable place.
Maybe it's more true here. You smile. And then, as Vaisheshika Prabhu says, no amount of compliments is too many compliments. Appreciate. Genuinely appreciate. You can always find something to appreciate. As I said, not as a cliche, not just as a manipulation, but sure, we can find something to appreciate in a person. So you appreciate the person, and then R stand for reach out. I remember when I went first time with the Scottish devotees, I was like, I never even read these books, but I know that these guys are making such an endeavor to come all the way from Karuna Bhavan, that every week they were in a motorhome, so they will cover Liverpool, York, Leeds, Sheffield, and then go back. Every week, that was their routine. So I was like, just by hearing it, I was like, wow. Is there anything I can do for you? Like, yeah, if you have a spare time, you can sometime come and help. I was like, what should I say? Say, oh, I'm just helping monks here. Like, okay, fine. It's like, hey, I'm from India, I'm helping they're saying these are wisdom books, it might help you. Guess what? People took. It's such a simple pitch, and people appreciate. So, as I say, we're not salesmen. We are not. We're not there to preach. We are just there to give an opportunity for them to connect with the mission what Rasika has explained in this beautiful purpose of Srila Prabhupada. Just reach out. Say, simple, 30-second pitch. Rasika, could you give a 30-second pitch?
Hey, how's it going? You alright? I like your hat. Where'd you get it from? No way. I love that shop. Here, check it out real quick. Book on yoga and meditation. What do you do for a living? You're a nurse. If you're compassionate, you'll really like this book. No way, yeah. I do think I'm compassionate. Okay, nice. We don't really sell that people need a contribution from their hearts. Okay, here's a tenner. Okay, please come to Kruti. Bhakti Yoga Center for the program on, when's the Western one?
Wednesdays.
Wednesday night.
Every
No
other
way, I'm free on Wednesday night. Okay, cool, see you there. 5 years later, they're sitting here.
Haribo! Haribo!
Was it a hard pitch?
No.
Such a simple, easy pitch. So what will happen after this pitch? Only two things can happen. Either they will accept it or reject it. But whatever may happen, what should you do?
Small.
Accept it. They can accept, reject, because you have offered them. But what you can do is accept whatever they've given. That's it. It's a simple sar. With a big smile. I remember many years back, I was traveling with Kesha Maharaj, being a Sankirtan partner. I never liked people saying no on the street to me. I was like, I come up with the best speech for you and you're saying no to. And that says, learn to accept or this no gracefully, so much so that they should feel, what did I reject? That he's feeling so happy about it. What did I reject? Actually, people do this. It happens sometimes, they will say no, and then they'll okay, no problem, see you later. And then they come back. It's like, okay, what were you talking about? Happen to you? Happens so often. When you accept whatever they say. No, as I said, we're not there to convert. Are we there to convert?
No.
No. Okay, good. We are on the same page. We're not there to convert. We're not there to tell that we are superior than them. We're not there for that. We are just there to give this opportunity that please, this is Krishna's beautiful message. Would you like to take it? And if they said no, I said no problem. See you next time around. No problem. But from your side, it's job done. Krishna is happy that you have touched the pavement, made the endeavor. Guru is happy because you have made the endeavor. When they are happy, guess what? Your job is done. You will be in a bliss. You will be in a bliss. It's so simple, so simple, so simple. All we have to do is try. We just have to try. Because if I say, it's the most amazing sweet, it's the most amazing sweet, and yeah, taste it. Just taste it. And how do you taste it? When you go out on the street, just pray that when we chant, everyone here chant Hare Krishna mantra? Yeah. Good. Otherwise you're in the wrong room. Just checking. So when we chant, what do we say? What are we trying to do? We're trying to experience Krishna through the holy name. When we're distributing these books, what are we trying to do? We're actually trying to experience Krishna while we are distributing these books. I promise you, I can write it in a white paper even now. When you go out with this prayer, yeah, please Krishna, let me experience you, and let me be an instrument. I promise you, you will see that. 1861. Ishvara sarvabhutanam riddesha arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarvabhutani yantra dhanamaya. You will see that Krishna is making all these arrangements for them to come to you, those invisible names. They will come to you because he's making those arrangements, because Ronit is on the street as a soldier on his behalf. They say, oh, Ronit made an effort all the way, and Krishna is like, hey, you bet. What do you do? Hey, better you show up.
Yeah.
Now you are there on his behalf, and he's not there. How does it sound? Doesn't sound right? Would you do that? No. He's not one of other guys who will say, I'll come, and never show up. No. Krishna would always show up before Ronit. He has prepared everything. He has prepared literally everything. All we have to do is go, show up there, and you will see him. So let's experience him today. Hare Krishna.
Jai, thank you, Gaura.
Haribo.
So was it SAR, S-A-A-R?
S-A-R-A.
S-A-R-A. S is for smile, A is for appreciate, R is for reach out, and A is for accept. Okay, beautiful. So do we want to do those Q&A now? How are we doing for time?
Yeah, we could do a quick Q&A for 10-15 minutes. Yeah.
So why don't we have Narayan Prabhu, why don't we both just sit here together and do the Q&A together?
We can sit here. No. I promise you.
Very good.
No, we want to check for it.
Okay, you can sit here. Cheers.
Has anyone got any questions? Practical questions? Sort of.
For your class, it's really nice. It was really nice to get an understanding of how we can reach out better to other people. My question is on, like, when we go out and we see people that we know, and like we don't want to get caught up in talking to them. Like, if we haven't seen them in a long time, we don't want to get caught up talking to them and like saying, "Oh yes, how are you?" and all of that. And focus on trying to distribute the books. Like, how can we go through that and try to make sure we can navigate as smoothly as possible, trying to distribute the books instead of trying to get caught up in socializing.
So sorrow's really popular, is it?
Very.
You tell you, I don't meet people.
Yeah, I guess it means it's something that happens in across all services, isn't it? Where we could be on the streets and we meet someone and that's going to interfere with us carrying out our service, or we may be cooking something and someone comes by and they want some energy, some attention from us, but we're engaged. I think we can definitely just give them a little bit of time, a little bit of energy. But we can just say to them, "Hey, look, I'm really sorry, but I've only got a limited amount of time today on the streets, and I don't get to do this often, but I really want to make a difference in other people's lives. Is it okay if I message you later?" Like that. Or you can say, "Hey, why don't you join me? We'll have much more fun distributing books together than having this chat. I'd love to spend time with you in this way." See what they say?
Or pass them the book. Oh no, I don't. We were just 9 students in my class, actually, in the whole batch. Believe it or not, it's the smallest class you could ever ask. And I ended up bumping with my classmate in the street one time. And we studied railway. I don't know if it's a fancy thing, but for many people it is a fancy thing. He's like, "Hey, what are you up to?" I was like, "Are you not working somewhere?" I was like, "Not really, but we travel around." He's like, "What do you do?" I pulled the book straight away. It's like, "We're distributing these books." "We're distributing these books. Why don't you try? Then I'll take one with you." It's like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah, why don't you take it? It's a nice book." Same standard pitch. All of a sudden, this classmate it's not just a classmate anymore. I just say, "Okay, Krishna has sent this guy for same purpose. If a blind can receive, a deaf can receive, why not my classmate?" So Krishna made this arrangement. And guess what? He did take a book. And it's like, "Do we pay for it?" I was like, "That's the hard one. Trying to ask money from your classmate." I was like, "No, you can take it as a gift, but normally people leave a donation." I mean, because I'm not collecting for myself, it's Krishna's money. And he did give a donation. So it depends on who the classmate is or who your friends are. You can always. That's the quickest way to cut the conversation.
I had the opposite. I met one of my school friends just as I was coming out of the toilet, and then she was coming in. And anyway, we said hello, and I told her to come to the book table just outside in Manchester. And I did something that I shouldn't have done. I was too heavy. Like, she was my friend, I should have been more friendly. And but I think I kind of completely snuffed out the relationship as I being a bit too, because it must have been a surprise for her as well, right? To see me in robes and shaved head and all this. I could have, I could have just been more natural and just kind of keep that relationship that we already had, and it would have worked out better in the long term. And she was almost about to take the book, and then I said, because I thought she was my friend and she'd probably give extra, so I just raised the price straight away. I said £10. Then she was like, "Oh no," so she gave it back. Yeah.
Hanging out with the poor friends, huh?
She's a dentist. She was training to do it. But anyway, to maintain that good relationship, not just being like a preacher,
Yeah, that's a really good point. I have one friend from university, and he's a really lovely guy. Not Krishna conscious or devotee yet, but we somehow kept in touch. And I was always upfront and open about who I was, that yes, I distribute books, yes, I don't do certain activities, and he may invite me to something and I say, you know what, I'm really sorry, but because of X, Y, Z, my values are like this, and I wouldn't be able to join you, but why don't we catch up and have a phone call, or whatever it was. So like this, we kind of kept the relationship going, and I was always upfront about who I was as an individual and my practices. And one time he came and saw me on book distribution, and he lives in Bourges. He came and saw me, and he sponsored a Bhagavatam set. And then now he knows that okay, whenever he's in town, he can come and visit me on book distribution. And he was helping me out on book distribution too. He was distributing cookies and serving prasad to the devotees, and we were going around together. So yeah, just don't be shy to be yourself in this world where there's so much lacking in authenticity. If we're just ourselves and are on a mission that's to serve others, people will appreciate and respect that, and then they want to help you with that in order to get your association. So it's magical what Krishna can do in that way if we're just open and honest about our relationship with him. Any other questions? Jay Prabhu?
Thank you so much for a beautiful class. My question is based on the aspect of being attached to results. Would it be not getting enough books out, or would it be getting quite a few books out? So I struggle with this myself a lot. I see, like, I just get a few books out, and I feel like, yeah, I'm in bliss. But at the same time, my pride also goes to the book. Oh, look what I've done. It's quite a few books. And if I don't get enough books, I get a bit depressed by, what can I do? I'm not feeling motivated, etc. So how do we deal with this, and how do we see it through transcendental perspective?
Well, I would like to sitting here if I would say that no one, we just born that we went on the street first day and we were so selfless. I would like to. But what happened, like in any service you do, you grow. If you genuinely try to do it sincerely, you will grow. It's not a problem. Like when we joined the Hare Krishna movements, or we came in contact with the devotees, it's like, oh, I want to chant this number of rounds. We don't care about the quality just yet. Because you see, we are in such a cross platform, and everything we're trying to do is like see through our gross way. We're not so subtle yet. So the more you do the service, that service will mellow you. So don't beat yourself if you have this mindset. You acknowledge it, that's good enough to begin with. Then you say, oh, I shouldn't be on this platform. So what would you do? You say, Idam Namama. All the yagya, Sankirtan, yagya. So is there any pujaris here? You do some yagyas, right? What they say at the end, Idam Namama, right? That this is not for me, this is for Vishnu. Or whatever the deva's name you take, that this is not for me, this one. So at the end of the day, when you finish, you can always say, Idam Namama. That is not for me. If that's not for you, who are you worried about? Because it's nothing for you. It's for someone else's pleasure. And he's getting pleasure just by you touching the pavement and you making the endeavor. So why are you getting caught up? Why would you get caught up? Because by getting caught up, you're actually hampering the service. So as Sri Ram Swami said, get out the way. Don't get in the way. Just get out the way. And you will be happy. You will be happy. But don't beat you. As I said, this is the process. People go through it. When we chant the holy name, you have this Nama Prab, Namvas, then you go. From the first day, it's not even a chant. The Shuddhana. Someone should stop beating them. No, they can't beat themselves. No, this lolyam is there that I want to chant such a beautiful round. Same way, this lolyam that I want to have the selfless Sankirtan is amazing. Carry on, this is the way. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
I just had a comment.
Yes.
One of my friends has a business that sells water filters to hotels. And he was telling me that the number one thing you do in sales is you never sell anything. When they go to networking events, they just become friends with the person. I think Vaishesh Kapoor was saying the same thing, right? You stop selling, hey, you look spiritual, what's your secret? Developing a relationship. And then the sell comes naturally, I think. They're like, oh, what you got there? How come you're not trying to sell me anything? I want the Gita, like they know about it now, You like switch flip the script a little bit. And I think that's the non-detachment.
Yeah. But you ever get a number? Yeshua Maharaj is like, if everyone takes the book, it's magic. When no one takes the book, it's magic. So both ways it's a magical day. Because both will help you to remember Krishna. Technically, they should remind. It's not that the day you're distributing books, I did it, Krishna, you didn't help me today. and the day you're not distributing books, I've been struggling, Krishna, you're not helping me. No. Both ways. Good potter knows when to hammer, when to massage. Krishna knows what is good for you to progress in the journey. So someday he will give you the encouragement, and some days he will fine tune you. So don't worry.
And I also think that it's not a bad thing that you're attached to the results. We want to be attached to the results for Krishna, but detached for ourselves. So if we're attached to the result, if we're noticing that we're attached to the results for our own self-aggrandizement, then we can simply just pray and say, hey, whoa, that's not what I want here. Please, Krishna, allow me to be attached for the right reasons. And just simply praying to Krishna, opening up a dialogue with him when you're out on the streets, understanding it's a team, you're the main player, but he's pulling the strings. Then yeah, every rejection, every acceptance can become magic, like Gaura said. So be attached for Krishna and open up a dialogue with him throughout your Sankirtan, and magic will happen.
Thank you for your wonderful and much needed reflections. So grateful for your time. I wanted to ask for some practical tip. Sometimes when we're out on books, members of the different faiths can come over to our table and try and debate us, and a lot of time can be wasted. So how can we keep things short and sweet and
How do you do that, Bishop?
I think Krishna makes these arrangements as we try to go out of our comfort zone to serve him. And in all of our interactions, whether on the street or off the street, as representatives of the Sankirtan movement, we want to leave everyone with a good impression. So we welcome everybody, and someone from another faith starts talking to us, we can show interest. But if we're thinking, oh, perhaps this is getting quite challenging, or in the first 30 seconds you should be able to make that judgment. If this is starting to become quite challenging, they're not here to learn, they're here to push their agenda. If you feel like within the first 30 seconds of assessment that they're trying to waste your time, then what I normally do is I say, you know what, thank you so much for stopping and sharing that with me. What's your name? And you don't be shy to cut them off, because you're cutting them off to say something nice, and they won't think, oh, he's cut me off, because what you're saying is nice. They'll forget that you cut them off. Thank you so much for coming to share that with me. What's your name? And I normally stick my hand out and shake their hand, and they say, Tom. And I said, Tom, it was so good to meet you today. I wish you all the very best. And then you just leave. And they also get the message that, oh, okay, it's over. Oh, okay, cool, I'm done here, fine, nothing to do. And they just go and you go. That's something that seemed to work for me in the past, where you hear them out, give them the time of day, assess, cut them off, thank them, and be on your merry way. And if they're not really budging, just say, I'm really sorry, I do need to dash because I've got to share these books with some people that might be a little bit more interested, don't waste your time. And they're like, hey, well, I'll come here to waste his time, and now he's saying that I want to waste my time. Split it on them. And you carry on with your mission. And you may try to leave them with a good impression by doing these two approaches. But if that's not working, you might just say, hey, look, I really need to go. And you have to be assertive sometimes. Because you don't want to waste that 5, 10, 15 minutes with them when you can be distributed to other people who are going to be more receptive.
Well, again, it's so tempting to debate sometimes. I'm with you, don't worry. Isn't it, Bishop? And see, you're a young guy. Someone is coming on your face to debate. Yeah, okay, go on. You learn certain things. And sometimes you feel like let's go to the Hyde Park corner and just take on. That's your nature. You see, as I was saying to Jay as well, certain things with the time will come, and it's a journey. I remember early days when somebody would come, I will think, oh, someone is asking me the question, then I must answer them. So the commercial, I didn't know that they're actually debating. I thought they're just asking. So then they go, and after some time they say, oh, we want to debate? Okay, go on then. But then gradually you understand, oh, you know what? You mature in your journey. You say, no, that's not what I want to do. Even in that category of people who are coming to you, you would start finding a difference between who is asking you and who want to have a debate with you. Those who are seeking, you can give them time. As I said, early days, my motive was like, I want to distribute as many books as possible. More than 2-minute chat with anyone is a sinful activity. I mean it. I was like, no, by this time I would have distributed more books. But gradually you realize that, okay, no, there are some people who genuinely want to ask certain things. So it depends. I had different people at different times. In Sheffield, we get some heavy preachers. I couldn't get rid of them. Literally, I couldn't. And I was like, look, I was distributing the Keshe Maharaj right next to me. I was like, you know this tall guy? He's like, yeah, I've been seeing him for many years. I was like, yeah, he's the more learned one. You defeat him. I'm just a new boy. What are you all about? So I was like, why did you go to him? And do you know what he does? I don't know. He's tall, he's like, because he knows all these people for a long time. He was like, just turn his back, as if he hasn't even seen him. And he was like, why are you sending them to me? And I was like, I couldn't get rid of him, man. And he was like, 2 seconds, he didn't even have a conversation with me. He just turned his back. So many of these towns, now we go. These are standard preachers. We meet them for many years now. Some of them actually come and say hello now nicely. Some of them actually come up to say hello. They know what we do. They've been from 10, 12, 15 years now that they've been doing what they do, and we're doing what we do. So they know that, okay, they're wasting their time. So actually now we share greetings with each other. And you have to just assess. In 1 month, again, there are heavy preachers there, and they have these turns, they take the mic. The guy finished his whole pitch, and he saw I was distributing the books. He was walking to me. I was like, oh my God, no. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just a bookseller. He's like, you don't believe in this? I was like, hell no, I don't believe in anything. I was like, so what are you doing? I was like, I'm selling these books. Do you want to buy one? He was like, no, come to Jesus. And I was like, yeah, I heard you. You're an amazing speaker. I was like, yeah, once I finish my whole thing, I'll come. And he left me alone. Otherwise, I don't think it would have left me. But having said that, you have to see the Krishna in the picture now. I was in Sheffield for a while, and distributing the books there and running the program. So Sheffield was like my everyday town, 6 days in a week. So many people would know me now. And it is like, in a politically correct way, it's a very multicultural place, huh? Is that how to say? No, it's a Muslim dominated place. So, and I was standing in the Mood. I don't know if you know Sheffield nicely. Mood. That's the way to go towards London Road. And there's so many people go that way. Every day somebody would come. I was like, you're going to the hell, you're going to the hell. And I was like, oh my God, go away. So I was distributing these books. I had a small table. I don't know if anyone's seen that book, Inner Yoga.
Mm.
Everyone seen that? It's a beautiful visual picture. Whoever designed it, all goes to that. Before that, so every day they will come and debate. I always had a Quran, but just because I come from India and I had a roommate who was Muslim, so I always had a Quran somehow. I remember waking up at 4 in the morning. Normally you pick up Bhagavatam or something to have some inspiration. But somehow I still had some debates going on in my mind. And I picked up the Quran and I was reading that verses, how he was quoting in a wrong way. And all of a sudden thought came, what the hell are you doing, Gaura? It's 4 in the morning. Just leave it alone. Anyways, then I went to the street, set up the table. Around the afternoon time, I was having this conversation with someone and this Muslim lady with full, I'm not sure if I told this story before or not, but I guess I did. Full, like, how do you call it? Niqab?
Yeah.
Just niqab, huh? What kind of niqab thing? You can just see eyes. I mean that thing, whatever you call it. She was standing at the table and I was like, oh my God, not one more to send me to hell. So I was having this conversation and trying to have a longer conversation so that she just leaves by the time. But somehow the pitch has to come to its natural conclusion. Finished. I was like, yes, what can I do for you? She's like, can I ask you something? I was like, as long as you're not sending me to hell, it's all good. She was like, who's this? I was like, she pointed her to the picture. It's like, God. It's like, which God? Is it a Hindu God? Like, if he is a God, he is God. How can it be Hindu God or Muslim God? And she said, The moment she said, I was like, I judged the book by the cover. But by the time, I'm already doing the reset button because, you already had this God thing. And now I'm trying to do this reset. No. But the mind is like already ahead of it. Just like, what's his name? I was like, Krishna, but you call him Vishnu. He was like, if I tell you something, would you believe? And I just say, because I was already still in the zone, but trying to, it's like, no, it's a different person. But the mind was like, like, yeah, as long as I'm repeating again, you're not sending me to hell, I'm happy to hear whatever you want to say. She was like, this is just after the month of Ramadan. She was like, I've been praying for a long time, the whole month, and every time I pray, I see a figure. Every time I close my eyes, I see this figure. Initially, I thought it's a girl. It's a very blurry picture. But then I thought it's a girl. But the more I prayed, the picture was getting clearer and clearer. And I realized, no, it's not a girl. It's a man. It's a God. And that was him. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, what do you pray? what do you pray? What did you tell your prayers? I was like, have you ever seen him? And I was like, not the way you described it. I wish I would have seen him like the way you are describing. Anyway, she's like, can I take this book? I was like, yeah, by all means. How much? And I was like, you don't have whatever you like to give. Because by this time I was actually overwhelmed. And then she left. She took the book, she left. And never seen her again. My thought was like, actually it's Krishna who's coming in his form, telling that Gaura, don't get caught up. In a bigger picture, actually there is no difference. It's these nearby people who are seeing the difference in a different way. But when you actually genuinely pray, if someone is praying that, my dear Lord, I really want to be with you, how can there be a different God? So that actually mellowed me on the street when I see different faith people. So yeah, till that time you don't have these. Let's say no. Sometimes you have to just experience Krishna, and then that service becomes something different to you. Everything else we say is just a story till the time you don't experience. So yeah, debate till the time you have to debate. Learn how to cut off when you have to cut off, and it's a journey. Hare Krishna.
What would you say, in your honest opinion, like sometimes when we're distributing cookies, like, I mean, it's nice and those are cookies, they go, but like everyone just like, they just come for the cookies and the books just get left out. So like, obviously that's still good to some degree, but what would you say is a really effective method in interjoining the cookies with the books and making it like a symbiotic relationship so that they're...
Symbiotic relationship.
Sorry for the technicality.
You distribute cookies.
Yeah, I think this is the Vaishnava as a response to the three ways in which Maya is attacking. We respond in our own three ways, and that is the holy name, books, and prasad. So I think the cookies are an indispensable part of our war efforts. What I normally do is we'll leave that to the side. I think what happens naturally sometimes is you've got a basket of cookies and you go out and say, hey, would you like a cookie? Made them fresh, they're homemade, love to give you one. And they say, oh, yes, please. And they have it. And sometimes people say, oh, how much do I owe you for that? And then we say, whatever, and then they give something and give them a book. Or sometimes some people might just have it and walk off. Fine. Like, maybe today's not their day to get a book. Some Krishna conscious influences reach their heart and their time will come. Others, they may start to walk and say, hey, what do you think about the cookie? Oh, it's really nice, yeah. Well, hey, check this out. And then you just give them a book as well, because the cookie is just a conversation starter. The cookie is there to break the ice. And if they're not interested, it's okay. But we can use the cookies like that. Sometimes I ask people, there's a group of them, they go with the cookie and say, hey, check it out, I'd love to give you one. It's a fresh cookie, homemade. And they're like, they start eating it. And we ask them, oh, what do you think the secret ingredient is? And they might have a thing, is it cinnamon? They're like, nah, not cinnamon.
That's what they say in Crawley as well.
Is it?
Seriously,
Yeah.
they ask what's the secret ingredient and they're asking about cinnamon, but it's not.
It's not cinnamon. It's like, you got ginger, no, it's not ginger. It's love. Ah, it's love. And then, yeah, we're just trying to help out and just trying to spread love and wisdom. Tell you what, give them the books. Check it out real quick. These books are about yoga and meditation, and like that, you just do your pitch. I think it's just a natural part of the distribution. Actually, can you kind of expand on your question a bit? Like, what happens for you that makes you feel like people are just leaving and not taking anything?
Well, sometimes it feels harder to like distribute cookies as well, because we're calling people, come and take a cookie, and then they come, and then like we also like, well, I don't know. Personally, I just sort of like shy away and be like, oh, they took a cookie, and then I don't try and endeavor for the book. So I feel like that's what it might be, you know.
Okay, I see. So maybe it's a case of considering going to them with
Maybe.
the basket and saying, hey, have take a cookie. And we're not chasing them to give them a cookie. We're approaching them, stopping and offering them the cookie. And they may take one, and then now they've stopped. And that's an opportunity for dialogue and for you to give them the book. The cookie's not like a standalone thing. Whether they take the book or not, the cookie thing has been successful, they'll get mercy. But the cookie's really there as a gateway to the real mercy, which is the book. So in that way, you can always go to them with books and cookies.
You see, you have different set of people go on the street, especially as a congregation. You have some pros, and you have set of people who are going with the kids and family. If someone is with their family, they're approaching the family who has kids. And you say, first thing, what do you do? Hey, how are you doing? Start speaking to the kid, and you like to have a cookie. And you just, as Rama was saying, you just made a friend with them. So now they are your friends, and you're having just a friendly conversation. So that helps with the cookie thing. Having said that, when we have some cookies, I wouldn't start the conversation, hey, how you doing? Would you like to have a cookie? No, we might not start that conversation that way. So as I said, different people will approach different things. So for us, at least for me, once we'll have a conversation, we'll say, hey, thank you, hey, by the way, it's a cookie for you. Let me know how it go. Or they didn't like your book, I didn't have money, no problem. We have something for you. Why didn't you try a cookie? So either way, they're getting something to take with them. So, but different people will use that cookie as a different prop. Prop is the right word, no? It's a different prop. Not everybody would do the same thing with a cookie. But we're not cookie distribution movement. That's not our family business. But cookie is helping us to enhance whatever we're trying to do, as long as it helps you.
I just had a comment related to both of the questions, because for years, Radhika Binda and I did the back end, where you guys go out on books, and then the people come to the manor. Now what happens, And I thought it was a beautiful example of what you related with the lady seeing the vision. And I think the same is true. Not everyone wants to debate you. A lot of people are quite open. I've had people that are Jewish, Muslim, Christians being like, we love our, family religion, but tell us more about Krishna. And sometimes it can be a thing of time, place, and circumstance where they're in a moment in their life where they can't accept Krishna right now, but they'll remember, oh, such and such gave me a cookie, such person was really kind to me. Now I'm struggling in my faith. Hey, let's go to the temple. Let's see what they have to say, So I think it back to the friendship thing, where the book is kind of like what did Prabhupada say, a time bomb? Sometimes it doesn't explode right now. Sometimes it takes a few years, But you don't have to have those debates during book distribution. You can take the number, have it at the manor or your local temple, Crawley, Sheffield. You can have that longer conversation over a cup of hot milk, and a cookie.
Last question or two? Any more questions? Cool. Perfect. Very cool.
Alrighty, so thank you so much